Oh, hello, Year 10. I'm sorry that I'm not there with you today. As you probably heard, I had a bad accident last week, and I'm unfortunately not allowed to be at school until it's healed, which means I probably won't see you until early next term. If you're not in front of a computer at the moment, I'll get Mr. Bannister, who I believe is taking your class, to stop the video and for you all to get in front of a computer, get into your Google Classroom, open the classwork tab and click on the exam practice 2 that I have here ready to go. All right. Okay, so I take it you're all there. I've written a short little presentation which says that you need to watch a video with the document open. That's this document here. Okay, this is the video you need to be watching. This is the exam practice document you need to have open. Okay, all right, here's our exam practice open, ready to go. Now, this may or may not be the exam. Okay, it actually isn't the exam, but it's pretty close to what the exam's going to be. And what I've done is I have made up some, I suppose, scaffolded questions that'll help you get through the exam with ease. Okay, all right. Your exam plates, or the plates in the exam, are exactly the same as the plates that they appear right through this document that I've made. Okay, so you need to look at both plates. Here's plate 1, here's plate 2. You need to make a list of words that reference how the artists, all right, both artists have responded to the subjects and the spaces. And you need to make a separate list for each work. All right. This first one here in plate 1 is by an artist called Geoffrey Smart. Here is Geoffrey Smart himself. Okay, this man here. All right. He has taken that upon himself to paint a self-portrait outside of the Cahill Expressway. All right. And you can see Geoffrey here by himself on his own lonesome, not doing much at all. Okay. Now, second plate tells us, if I can just scroll down to it, is by Arthur Boyd on the Shoalhaven River, titled Shoalhaven. Okay. You can see whoever it is in this one is also by themselves. Yep, on their lonesome, all alone, in a big empty space. Geoffrey Smart, all alone, on his own, in a big empty space. Yeah, one is, of course, in the city. One, of course, is in the country, on a river, in a beautiful part of the world. Okay, what you need to do is you need to make a list for each artwork that references how the artist has responded to the subjects, these dudes, and the spaces. Subjects down here and the spaces. Make a list of words that describe how the artist has referenced those spaces and those subjects for both plates. If you can get 15 for each, you're winning. If you can't, if you can get 10, you're also in a winning seat. If you get 5 or less, you may struggle. Okay? Right, once you've done that, you need to write a short paragraph that uses the words from your list to respond to the way that artists have used the world to express their views in these artworks. So if you think about loneliness and isolation and grand spaces that are empty, you shouldn't have too much of a problem getting across the line with this part of the question. All right. All right. The second one references this plate here by Paul Signac. It's called The Dining Room. Okay. There's a lot going on in that work. There's a lot of things happening. I'm not concerned about how the artist has painted it, what colours they're using, lines, shapes, tones, or textures. I'm not concerned about that at all. All I'm interested in is the story. Or if you like, here's a hint, the narrative. Yeah? If you were to list as many verbs that you can to help tell what is happening, what actions are occurring in this work, then you might be able to build a good reference for what the question is asking in the exam. Verbs, as you know, are doing words. They help tell the action of what is taking place in any setting. Words such as eating, standing, smelling, running. Yeah? In this one, what do we have happening here? What is this man doing? What is this woman doing? What is this woman doing? Yeah? What is the sunlight doing? Yeah? What is happening with the teacup? What is happening with this thing on the table? What is happening with his fist? What is happening with his face? Doing words, verbs. Think of them, write a list. If again you can get 15, you're doing well. If you get 10, that's also pretty well. Less than 5, you may be struggling. Then I want you to write a short paragraph that uses the words from your list of verbs to describe what is occurring in the artwork. Yeah? The man is sitting at the table doing something. He is in the company of a woman who is sitting at the table doing something, etc. That's a good clue. Think about that. Okay? This is also what we refer to as narrative. Think of that word narrative and remember that word. Good clue so far. Third question. If the following artworks are exactly the same, what sets them apart? Ask yourself that question. What is the difference between these two artworks? So, if we just have a little look, they're both by Henry Moore. Yeah, they're both titled Standing Figure. All right, they're both done in 1950, and they're both 221 centimetres tall and made of bronze. The only difference is the situation that they are in. The site that these two are in is not the same. One is an indoor site, one is an outdoor site. What happens when the site changes for both the same artworks? Ask yourself that question and think about it. Yeah? And then I want you to make a list of words that describe the differences with the two plates. They can be verbs, adjective, nouns, it doesn't matter. Okay? You need to describe the differences in the two. All right? Differences in the two because of the site they are in and the situation that has occurred as a result of the site that they are in. One is inside, the white background behind it. Does that become less interesting? Does this artwork, same artwork, because it's standing outside with a changing background, i.e. the clouds, does that become more interesting or less interesting? Think of those ideas. Make a list of words that describe the differences with both of those plates. So I just mentioned before about the two words site and situation. In art, we refer to the site as being the space the artwork is in. And the situation is the set of circumstances that create that site, or the set of circumstances that are created from that site. Okay, now simply use those list of words that you've got for both of these plates, the differences because of the site and because of the situation, and write a short paragraph that compares and contrasts the two. All right, tells you about the similarities and the differences that the two plates have with regard to site and situation. Both the same, different site. Because of that site, different situation. Do you understand? Sorry, I can't see any of you complaining, so I'll move on. All right. All right, this is the last question and it's worth 25 marks, half of your mark for the exam. I want you to think about a recent project that you've been involved with, and I want you to write a sentence for each of the following with reference to that artwork. Now, if you're thinking the same artwork I have, we've been working on it for most of the term, all right? And while that is a really good example and it's been set up for this question, you might choose to use another artwork that you've made if you feel more comfortable with it. For those of you that haven't been so involved with the project throughout the term, this is where you're going to struggle to get the best answer, okay? So thinking of that project, where is it? What is there about the site? What situation has occurred because of that site? Yeah? Think of, maybe you can leave this part out with the historians, but think about the views of the critics that have made comment and have spoken about your work that you might have been doing on that artwork. Think about perhaps the historical precedents. In other words, what has happened before with similar works around the place. Yeah? How they may or may not have been successful, and they may or may not have made life a little bit tough for us to go ahead with certain artworks that we've made. Think about the materials and the technologies that we have used. Yeah? The time constraints. Maybe we've gone too long on it so far. Maybe you're bored with it because of the time. And I want you to think about the audience expectations. Perhaps at some stage there were certain restrictions made on the artwork that you are talking about because of the audience and what they wanted. Do you see the clues that I've given you here? If you can write a sentence for each of those, you'll be in a big winning way to get across the line with your whole exam next in week 10. Okay. Now, if Mr. Bannister is good, he'll probably replay the exam. Otherwise, I will put the link up on the stream for you to look at it at home on your own internet connection. But you won't be able to watch it because it's been put on a YouTube video, and so you won't be able to watch it at school on your own. Okay, look, I wish you all the best. Sorry again that I'm not there for you. If you see Miss Dennis around the place in the next week or so, you can ask her any questions. If you get this back to me, return it back to me with a fully answered set of questions in this document, then I will give you feedback before your exam so you know where you're up to. Okay, I wish you all the luck in the world, and I'll see you again hopefully early next term. Bye for now.